Did You Have To is a proud member of the But Why Though podcast community. Kate.
Hey everyone. Oh yeah, sorry. Hey everyone, welcome back to Did You Have To, the podcast where we look at the live action adaptations of your favorite animations? Have I said it that way?
Animations, adaptations, yeah.
Animations.
That's about right.
Yeah, that's how it is. We're here to talk about live action versions of things that were animated first. And it's going to be a struggle today.
It is. It's Monday, and we have to talk about Death Note.
Yep, Death Note. As always, I'm your host, Kate, and I'm here with... Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong intro. That's what I do for But Why Though. Okay, sorry.
It's fine. It's Monday. Y'all can excuse us.
As always, I'm Kate.
And I'm Neysha. And yeah, so excuse us now. We have gone through hell and back for y'all.
Literally for y'all, because we were not going to watch this movie if y'all didn't follow us.
We were going to save it as a season finale, maybe a season 2 premiere. Like, we were going to put this off as long as we could possibly do. If you want us to watch Airbender, like the M. Night Shyamalan Airbender, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you 300 followers. Yeah, and I mean it.
Yeah, I definitely mean that because no,
I'm not doing this in the same year.
That might be the only thing worse in this movie.
We'll see, but this... Oh, God. Okay, let's not give away our ratings just yet. But yeah. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to read a few Rotten Tomatoes of this movie. Netflix's Death Note fails Asian Americans in the more mundane way that most Hollywood releases continue to. That comes from Allison Wilmore. She's a top critic. From BuzzFeed News. Director Adam Wingard has robbed Death Note of its identity, messing up nearly everything that made the original series so compelling. That comes from Cleo Chang, The New Republic, and she's also a top critic. And then the ending will have you switching off your Netflix app in disgust if you don't die from boredom before you get there. That comes from Brian Tallarico from RobertandEbert.com, another top critic. I'm going to just stop.
So hard not to laugh.
Oh, wait, one more. The movie is a bored demon who bores his audience right along with him. Adam Lappin, NPR. Top critic. Y'all get our point. This movie was a struggle. But we also want to share some of the people who struggled along with us, because they were nice enough. And the people who got us into this mess, Lizzie, talking to you, Elizabeth, calling you out, full name. Elizabeth says, but for real though, thanks everybody who did join us and struggled along. You guys made it bearable and fun.
It was great to read everybody's tweets. Like, they was so good.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I saw that we had like almost 100 tweets at one time just going with the hashtag. So Lizzie said the music choices were baffling and Ryuk looked so bad CGI-wise, probably why he was in the shadows, but his voice acting cast was great. By the end of the movie, I don't know who Light or L was, but Mia was my fave psychopath. And
so
then,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you purposely pronounce Ryuk as Ryuk?
Yes, I did.
Okay. It hurt me inside, and I was like, I know what she's doing. I know what she's doing.
Yeah, you know how to read my mind.
This is not okay.
I know. Okay, and then that's again from Elizabeth Garcia. She's at Lizzie Lynn Garcia on Twitter. Go follow her. She's great. This one comes from Django Fett fan account, and that's at Dr. Ragnarok. He says, inconsistent characterization, weird soundtrack choices, horror elements that are borderline parody, mostly mediocre acting, and subpar effects. However, Stanfield and Defoe are phenomenal, and the cinematography is good. It's fun to laugh at and has serviceable score. 4 out of 10. You were being very generous, sir.
That was so generous.
That is very generous.
Because Stanfield fell apart at the end.
Yeah, it really did. Raphael Espinal, he's at RazorWolf73 on Twitter, says, this should have been an anthology of stories revolving around the Death Note book, which I agree.
Yeah, we could totally get into that later, because I have, like, the perfect damn idea in my head.
And then one more. This comes from Charles Hartford. Shout out to Charles. He's been tweeting along with us for a while. That's at Gatsu083. He says the main character was a complete joke. That he couldn't see how nuts Mia was is laughable. Really bizarre music choices throughout, coupled with a plot so rushed you couldn't even if you wanted to. Sucked any meaning or attachment you could possibly have with the cast away. I'm just, yeah. Oh, he had one more.
None of this is wrong.
He had one more. The only bright spots were some excellent lighting and cinematography, along with solid performances by Willem Dafoe as Ryuk.
Oh my god, it hurts every time.
And Shea Wingham as James Turner. None of which was prevalent enough in the movie to save this garbage fire. 2 out of 10 blatantly psychotic girlfriends.
I love that one.
I do. Thanks guys for sharing your thoughts along with us, and now we have to go down the path of remembering it all and recapping it. Jesus Christ.
Gosh.
Do we have to?
I mean, do we? Like, that is the perfect question for this podcast.
I know, right? See how I'm so clever. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so I'll go into talking about we can do a really, quick recap. Really
Let's do that,
brief.
because I feel like
and then
we can do
just
that.
Talk about everything that is wrong with this damn movie.
I think that's the best way to go about this.
Because this is one where, the source material piece, we have to talk about it extensively because of how wrong it got it. The same way we did with Dragonball Evolution.
Yeah, but real quick, just some quick interesting facts. This cost $40 million to make.
How?
I don't know, maybe all the freaking goth clothes they spent at Forever 21 gothic bullshit because they wanted to make sure Mia and Light were angsty as hell. And
not even good angsty.
Not even good angsty. They were just being angsty and to be rebellious, which they sucked at.
What cost $40 million there? Fake blood can't cost that much, Adam Wingard, which I apologize in advance because I really, really love your movies, but not this one.
Yeah. Also, one more thing. Nat Wolff. I don't know if y'all remember the Naked Brothers band from Nickelodeon.
Wait, what?
That is Light. Nat
Holy
Wolff.
shit. Okay, so, I knew that he was in those John Green movies. I did not know he was in that.
Yeah, apparently that's him. And I was just like, well, that's the most bizarre thing about this whole thing. Is that child is 23 years old, and that's what's really freaking me out. You're 23?
I understand the screaming now.
I do too. I do too, because that was the funniest scream ever. Okay,
I feel like I need to record, I need to just, audio record that piece of the movie so we can just play it.
Maybe it can be my censor button for when I go into rants. It's just we need one. Well, we don't really need one. Y'all know what I'm about on here.
That boy was way too damn scared. Okay. To the movie.
Yes.
Okay. So, Death Note is a 2017 Netflix original neo-noir supernatural thriller film, loosely, and I mean loosely, adapted from the Japanese manga of the same name created by Sugumi Oba and Takeshi Obato. The film is directed by Adam Wingard and is written by Charles Parla Benitez and Blas Parla Benitez. I'm putting a Spanish accent on that. I don't know if these men are Spanish, but that's what you're getting. And Jeremy Schlater. Okay, 3 writers on that script for a 1 hour, 40-minute movie.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. The film stars Nat Wolff, Keith Stanfield, Margaret Qualley, Shea Wingham, Paul Nagalucci, Jason Liles, and Willem Dafoe, and follows the story of an American high school student named Light Turner, who finds a mysterious supernatural notebook known as the Death Note.
Yep. That's the only thing that it has in common with the actual source material.
Girl. The Wikipedia says the sequel. It currently in the works.
Oh, fuck. No.
It is the very last line of this intro.
I wish y'all could see my face.
I'm pained.
My face won't unscrunch itself. What the fuck is the sequel gonna be about? He got caught.
Right? His ass got killed. He got killed.
Wait, he got killed?
I feel like his name gonna end up in that note.
I mean, if it's gonna end up in there, it's gonna be because of Ryuk.
Exactly. And I can't do it. Put in there.
I gotta stop saying his name that way. I'm sorry, Ryuk.
Okay.
That's better. But
okay,
no.
so here, you know what? I'm just gonna read this synopsis because it has like the entirety of the movie here. We can just talk about the bigger pieces of the movie.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay, so the film itself is set in Seattle, and after being visited by the Death Note's previous owner, a demonic Japanese god of death named Ryuk. It's really Ryuk, but that boy does not know how to talk, who tells him that the book causes the death of anyone whose name is written within its pages. Light eventually begins to kill people whom he deems to be morally unworthy of life, under the alias of a serial killer named Kira, which is what they just keep saying, in a bid to change the world into a utopian society without crime. That was never stated in the damn movie.
Nowhere.
Synopsis, people. That is from the anime and manga. Not this movie.
Nope.
Okay. Whew. While a small task force of law enforcement officials, led by the enigmatic consulting detective known as Al, attempt to find and apprehend Light. All the while, you pretty much just get introduced to your second big bad, which is essentially his co-serial killer girlfriend, who gets really, really horny whenever he talks about writing somebody's name in the book, Mia.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And
to each their own kink. I'm kidding. That's not
No,
a good...
no.
No. I'm totally kink shaming them.
Don't open that door.
I'm totally kink shaming them. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry. No. Murder is not a kink you should have.
And you know what? They didn't even do it well. Because if you watch Natural Born Killers, that's a good romance built around death.
True. You're not wrong.
Like, you can't even do the creepy stuff right. Because, like, it's weird. So, like, that whole romance is essentially you end up with Elle, who comes into this, and he's being bullied, and, like, he gets egged on. In the first piece of the movie, once he gets the book, he gets egged on by Ryuk, which is so weird.
Wrong. Because Ryuk is, like, the neutral chaos. Mm-hmm. Like, if we were to break it down, I mean, I feel like everyone has their own thing where it's like true chaos is what they call him, but I feel like he's neutral chaos because he really does not care. He doesn't. Yeah. He's not supposed to care about what happens to Light or what happens to the human world. He was bored. He dropped the book because he was bored and he wanted to see what was going to happen. And he did it for entertainment. He didn't do it for any other reasons. He doesn't care about anyone. And it's like, even whoever had the book at one point writes in the damn book, don't trust him.
Yep.
And your dumbass still trusted him. Mm-hmm. And so him, like, edging him, like, pushing him to write in it in the first place, I'm like, well, this is starting off on a terrible note because he's never, like...
Yeah.
It was always his choice.
Like, yeah, and, like, on top of that, too, like, this is the moment where you know that this Light is not Light Yagami. Because Light Yagami was a sociopathic megalomaniac who believed he was a god or had the potential to be a god even before he got the Death Note.
Oh, for sure.
And, like, he never needed Ryuk to egg him on or anybody to egg him on.
No, because he even did it the first time. He picked up the book and he chose to do it even before he knew of Ryuk's, like, existence. Yep.
And it's funny, so they do this whole thing where they try to make Light Turner seem really sympathetic. So Light has a single father. His mom was murdered. But then the first person they have him kill is this random bully who, bullies suck. He probably makes some people's life hell. But, like, why his name? Why is it the first name you think about writing? And why not the dude who killed your mom first? Because it really would have pulled you more into that sympathy area, but you just totally devalued anything that you set up in the rest of the movie by making that be his first kill.
And I agree, because just before we were recording, I decided to watch the first 2 episodes of Death Note, the anime, over again, and, like, there's a scene where someone is being bullied in front of Light, and he's like, maybe I could try it on him. Would anybody even, like, so anime Light considered killing a bully, but he's like, no, I should only kill people who are truly evil. He's just being a bully right now, and it's kind of like, because he understands that people can change and they can be better, and he's not exactly doing some heinous, violent crime.
Yeah, and that totally goes against, like, his god complex, right? Like, anybody can stop a bully.
Yeah.
Like, that's nothing. you know?
Exactly.
And then on top of that, too, like, Light is, like, this dude who does homework for people. Like, Light Turner in the movie is this guy who does people's homework and gets paid for it and gets pushed around. Light Yagami ran his damn school. He was a top student that all the girls wanted to date. Like, he was not some outsider, just, like, punk ass. Like, I probably wrote that sentence, like, 10 different times in the Light tweet, because I'm like, why, Light Turner? Why are you like this?
And I would just say this, when it was first announced about this movie and they described it and then we saw the trailer, there's a tweet out there somewhere where I'm like, it is very disturbing. In the year where, like, Dylan Roof had just shot up a church, a disgruntled white man, a young white man just shot up a church. That is just, like, it's disturbing that you chose to make this character a disgruntled teenage white boy. Like, I'm saying this because, like, y'all could have gone another way. You didn't have to make him see. He seems to be doing this killing out of a grudge. He's doing this killing wrongfully. He's not doing it for justice. He's literally killing people to get off. And and for control. He's not doing it for justice and to make the world better. He's saying it, but he's not actually doing it that way.
Well, and this is the weird thing. Like, I think that's what they set up when he kills the bully. But then I think they end up just wafering on making him this sociopath, and then they make him try to be like, oh no, we can only kill bad people, Mia, and then Mia starts doing that. But like, I completely agree. Like, the reason that, like, Death Note works in Japan, like things are culturally specific to where they come from. A lot of the times, especially dealing around issues, is like Japan does not have a lot of mass killings, or you know, like, there's a reason why there's a mass suicide in the anime too. Like, that's important because Japan actually has one of the largest suicide rates of any country. So that is impactful in a very large and different way when done in the anime and manga. In the movie, it just doesn't work. Like, this is not... It's disturbing. Yeah. And they didn't do just... There are so many different things they could have done with this.
I mean, one, I would say is, like, if they truly wanted to say this was loosely based on the manga, on the anime, or they could have just said... This is where the Japanese live adaptation of Death Note picks back up again, right? You dropped the book in America. Like, they could have easily, like, it's still in the same universe. They could have just, like, said, like, oh, now this kid is picking up the mantle of Kira in America. Like,
they could have easily done that.
They could have easily done it because we know, even, like, if they want to, like, well, what about Elle? I'm like, what about Elle? We know that there's tons of detective orphans who've been raised to take Elle's place if Elle were to die. So if that's happened in the Japanese ones, forgive me, I have not watched them all. I need to go back and watch them all. But my point is, that's something that could totally happen, and it's just like, it goes to show that y'all didn't want to do that. You just wanted to do this and be wrong and strong, so...
100%, because, like, spoilers for the anime, you do have a new Elle that comes in, and who does take over, and so it's like... Everything about Death Note, the fact that you have words, you know, rules in place, the fact that there are multiple Death Notes at play at any given time, like Misa, who is Light Yagami's pawn. I don't want to call her a girlfriend because she thinks she's his girlfriend, but she's just a pawn. Like, she also has a Death Note, and like there is a way that they should have just said, okay, we're gonna take this concept and use it in the US, but we're gonna pick things that are specific to the US. We're gonna pick things that aren't gonna be like, you know, this outsider freaking teenage guy who just kills a bully. Like, that to me is just like, it's a trope that at this point in our society, and at that point when it came out last year, I think you're right, it is really disturbing, and it's not in like, and I don't want to err on the side of saying that you can't have art that reflects the reality of the fears in the world that we live in, because like, that is one of the big things that horror does. However, when you tell those stories, you have to be able to deliver it beyond just that visual, and you have to be able to deliver it in an artful way and in a real way. And this movie doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't.
And that's
because
a problem.
Agreed. And it's because of, like, if we're supposed to see it as, and the anime does a great job of you not knowing who the true hero is at some points. Like, you want to root for Light because, you agree with him. Like, there are terrible people in this world. What's the problem with killing the worst criminals? And then by doing that, people will stop doing crimes. However, you also realize it's wrong to kill people who haven't who haven't had their day in court, who maybe have, turned their lives around, or people who actually do just, is it rehabilitate? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So people like who have served their time and then their sentence, or who are on death row and are going to die. Like, it's wrong to control life, is what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to that point, it's kind of like, and it's like the back and forth and the battle between L and Light of just like what is truly good and who is truly just is one of the best, like, I think battle of the minds we've seen in anime.
Oh,
where it's like
100%.
These two forces like are just it is like a huge, like, it is one of the best things about the anime is just how they go back with just these mental games of each other, and they're trying to expose one another, and you just don't know, and you don't get that here. You don't get that
you don't get any of that here.
You get an angry, angsty teenager who probably should have gone to therapy a long time ago to work through his issues. Instead, he's found a note that it's like you've given a kid a freaking button to kill people at any instant.
And then on top of that, too, like, he's not even smart.
Oh, no.
Like, none of this. So one of the things, and this is probably my biggest issue with this adaptation, I think it happened because it's in the U.S., is, like, in the U.S., we have this thing where we have to make people sympathetic if they're a main character. Like, we can't have a truly unlikable main character. In the anime and the manga, like, Light Yagami is only likable for, like, maybe the first 3 episodes, and then you slowly start to see him unravel, and, like, he kind of, it's like, he's kind of like an onion. You see these shells, like, slowly slipping off of him into, like, this true darkness inside him, in the same way that you see L. Like, L isn't obsessed, like, part of it is because he wants to be the best, and he is the best, and he knows he is, but the big part of it, he's, like you said, he's trying to safeguard this idea of justice that he's devoted his life to. And so that type of dynamic of two just, like, battle of minds going back and forth and having to outthink each other constantly is something that this Light is not capable. Light Turner is not capable of, because every big move that happens along the trail of L following Kira, or, like, the police following Kira, or the FBI following Kira, all of it's orchestrated by Mia, his girlfriend, who is 100% more like Light Yagami than anything else. Because if anything, like, it's weird, and I don't know if they did this on purpose, I don't know if they actually were trying to make a comment.
Maybe.
Like, Light Turner is more like Misa than, like, Light. And Mia is more like Light than Misa, because, like, Misa is entirely manipulated to the point where she forgoes about 3/4 of her lifespan to save Light.
Yeah.
And she's that much obsessed with him and his cause and his identity as Kira. But in this show, in the movie, you don't even get that type of thing. You just have this weird, awkward, but you said you loved me.
Oh, my God.
Why would you take the death note?
That argument on that damn Ferris wheel was like watching a couple argue about where to go eat. I wanted Chipotle. I don't know what I want. Oh, my God.
It was the climax of the movie.
The faces, like, and he looked like he was about to laugh. Like, well, you said you love me, so I'm like, what the fuck kind of, this is literally like an argument couples have. Like, this, like, the tone and the way that, like, you wrote, because then she laughs and it's just like, you wrote my name and it didn't you. I'm just like, this is like if you found his text messages and he was texting another girl. Like, what is this, like, no, y'all suck. I was dying. I couldn't. I cackled.
It's so bad. Like, I think it got said in that tweet, and I know you said it too, like, as an anthology series, they could have made this something.
If it was, yeah.
But, like, ultimately, there are already 2 existing Death Note live actions in Japan. We didn't, like, okay, well, that's a later question. But, like, ultimately, like, when it comes down to, like, I guess, we've talked about characters. Characters, in my opinion, have been awful.
Yeah.
We can talk about some good ones, like Ryuk.
Yeah, we can. I mean, again, I did not like how he wasn't playing the chaotic neutral role of really not caring. He's just there to eat apples and watch chaos. Like,
Shinigami love apples. do they ever say Shinigami?
I think they say it once, and then I just want to add that book that... Oh, sorry, we have to just say this. One more reason Light Turner's a fucking idiot. Literally has had the Death Note for less than 24 hours. He has it out in public. Idiot, 1. 2, Mia comes up and sees him reading something. Like, oh, what you reading? And he's like, nothing. And then it's like, it only takes her asking one more time. He's just like, do you really want to know? I'm like, you fucking idiot. Like, I was done with him.
He's like,
done.
Oh my god, you're so pretty. I kill people. Mm-hmm. You want to see? Like, how?
Why? Why would you tell somebody? Why would you tell anybody so easily what you're doing? Because they might not freak out and go and tell? And then you're admitting to murder to a girl?
He's known this girl for, like, no time.
No time at all.
All you know is that she's, like, a cheerleader who's too cool to be a cheerleader and somehow smokes while, like, on top of a pyramid.
Can we talk about that real quick? I'm like, I get it. You don't want to be a cheerleader. Or I get it. You're a fucking rebel. But what the hell are you doing with the cigarette in your mouth as you do flips?
Right?
What is this? I'm like, I don't know. I want to know who directed that. I mean, I know we know who directed that shot, but I just want to know what was going through their brain. Yeah, put the cigarette in her mouth. They're totally going to be fine with her practicing with a cigarette. Yeah. We want to show that she's not like the other girls.
Yeah, like, I think ultimately, like, it just came down to, like, we're going to make this as edgy and angsty and gothy as we can.
This was like if I'm trying to think of the year. Let's say 2008 edgy. This is like if you gave a teenager.
This is 2008. You got a shopping spree at Hot Topic edgy.
Yes, I was just about to say that. This is why we're anime soulmates. Yes, this is literally what it was. He's like, they hired a teenager from 2008, gave them $40 million, told them to make this look edgy, or make these 2 characters look edgy. Go. Mm-hmm. And this is like a bad fanfic that won't stop.
It's so it hurts. It hurts. And
my
so
soul.
Like, as much as, like, I do agree with you, I don't like Ryuk's like his demeanor. Like, that's not like Ryuk ultimately. But it hurts. It somehow hurts me more because Willem Dafoe, like, he could have done so much, and Ryuk actually isn't in the movie that much.
I know. I mean, I get CGI, but maybe that's where all the money went. But
maybe.
But no, I agree. Like, I think Willem Dafoe, had he just been like, because Ryuk is in, like, he's around Elle all the time. And he's just watching, and he's just usually giving, like, funny quips, or, like, just
walking behind you, or walking behind Light as he, like, walks off, like, is walking down the street.
Yeah, like, stuff like that. I mean, like, they just really inserted Mia into this so soon and so quickly that you didn't see any of that interaction where it's just him and Ryu just, like, communicating with one another. And, like, this is, I think that's where we could have gotten more of, like, the back and forth of, like, okay, tell me more about the Death Note. Like, they didn't even bring up Shinigami eyes. They didn't bring up, like, I mean, obviously that doesn't come up into the anime later either, but it's like Light really uses Ryuk to get all of his questions answered.
Yeah.
Like
there's no lore here.
None. It's just, I don't know. It just seems very...
We fall into this movie as fast as that damn Death Note fell out of the sky. Like, and
True.
There's no halts or anything. And, like, so essentially, and I am reading here that Adam Wingard did reveal that although Mia Sudden is based off of Misa Imane, she is based on the sociopathic qualities of Light Yagami. And it was kind of like, why not just make Mia Light and get rid of Light Turner, or why not just, like, they should not have split that up into two people.
It doesn't make sense. You didn't have to do any of that. Like, maybe they wanted to make the female character more empowered, but then it's like, you're doing a disservice because you still kill the smartest person in the movie.
Oh, yeah, like, the person who should... There is no reason that Light Turner should have outsmarted Mia.
There is no reason. I mean, and the fact that he came up with his plan in, 30 minutes before everyone started to crowd around him and the cops started coming.
Yeah,
like,
but somehow this girl stole your stuff and wrote your name in the book and you didn't even know?
Listen, I knew she went upstairs and took that page out of the book, or I thought she stole the book at first. Because, I mean, there's times where, well, first of all, when she touched it, shouldn't she have been able to see Ryuk? Oh, no, they changed it. They changed the rules in the movie.
They changed it. So, like, in the anime, so long as you have a piece of the Death Note, so long as you're holding a piece of the Death Note, you can see the Shinigami of that Death Note.
Yeah.
So there were times where, like, Light would hand, like, a piece of the Death Note off to somebody.
Yeah.
And they could see them.
But this was different. Got it.
Yeah. This one was you have to own it, but then I'm not even sure how they got to own it. Was she had to write a name in it? Was that how they explained the ownership?
They didn't really go into, like, he didn't give the explanation that well, but like you're the owner as long as you keep it for 7 days. Like if you drop it and don't touch it for 7 days, then he'll come back and he'll take it away.
It also doesn't tell you that they're going to kill you. Like, that rule is magically gone.
Yeah, it's like... Or did he mention even the part about, like, oh, no, you won't even get to go to heaven or hell. You'll just die. I don't think
so.
Because that's even mentioned in the anime, too. It's just like, that's a pretty big decision you have to make, is that, like, you will die.
Nope, Doug Dudley, bye.
I can't deal with you.
Like, why would you write a name in there before reading all the freaking, like, rules? Light Yagami read all the rules. And he asked questions on top of them.
And, like, you literally are okay with this demon thing that popped up into your classroom, made this huge mess, and you're just going to willingly do what he told you to do.
Yeah. And, like, it's ultimately, like, there is a weight. So, like, if you go in and you watch the Death Note anime or read the manga, there's a weight to it. It's a heavy thing to watch. It's not, like, light and fun and freaking kitschy 80s synthwave in the background. Like, it is meant to really embody what happens when humans get into a cult. Like, this comes... in the wake, I think it's, like, the first, like, really big psychological thriller to address, like, cults and stuff after the Shinrikyo attacks that happened in Tokyo, at least from, like, and it's, like, that theme is throughout the book, and Kira starts this cult, and it's just, like, you don't get to explore that in this movie because it doesn't matter. Like, none of that matters to it. And, like, it's a movie without purpose.
Oh, for sure. And then, like, the fact that he so freaking egotistical about being, like, in the movie, Light Turner becomes so egotistical that he's like, we'll call ourselves Kira because it means light in Welsh or whatever. But I'm like...
I'm like, how the fuck did you get to that?
And it's like, but you're like, and then they hinted at the connection to, and it also means this in Japanese, so they won't know where to look for me. I'm like, you idiot, your dad's a cop.
Yeah.
That you still forget, and your name is Light. Your name is Light. I'm just gonna say again, your name is Light. That is a really huge red flag. Don't you think that maybe one of the smartest detectives in the world might figure it out?
The reach, Neysha.
I can't.
Reach.
I can't. I really can't. Oh my god. Okay, like, where are we at? We were talking about good things, I guess.
Yeah, good characters. I would go on a date with a dad. And, like, Light does not deserve that father.
He does not. And again, another problem. I'm sorry, this is going to be happening a lot. Another problem I have with Light is because...
another problem.
He's so disrespectful to his father, and his father tries hard. His father is doing his best, damn it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, he's so mad at his dad because his dad's a cop and he won't get revenge on the man who killed his mother. I'm like, this is another sign that you are a sociopath and you need help.
Yeah.
And his dad even says, like, were you there when you saw the bully's head get decapitated by that ladder? He's like, yeah, I was there, it's fine. His dad even notices, like, are you in shock? Because you're reacting very calmly to this. He's like, well, he was a dick, so... I'm like, you can't even mask your sociopathic emotions?
And this is probably, like, the biggest problem that I have with it, too, is, like, he's so flippant about everything. And, like, at least, like, in the anime, like, Light Yagami is a sociopath.
Yeah,
but he fakes
one.
It so well. Like, he never, like, if you had gone up to Light Yagami, like, did you see that guy's head go off? He'd be like, oh my god, I did. It was terrible. I wish I had never seen that. How are you feeling? Because Light Yagami actually plays a sociopath, like a guy who has, like, lived his entire life being one and has learned how to fake his way through things.
Pretty
because
much.
He's smart and intelligent. And this dude is just like, nah, Dad, I saw that guy's head go off. It's cool.
He's like, it's fine. It's cool. It's no big deal.
It's
just like, oh. Yeah, this is not how a 16-year-old boy would react to seeing someone dying in front of them and then telling their parent about it. But, you know, again, I say therapy. Just, you know, Talkspace, if you want to sponsor us, we can talk about this. We can work it into the show. But, you know, back to what we're talking about.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes, I will still say, okay, we should have started this off the back. I have a problem with this whole entire cast being whitewashed and miscast racially and still having the names. Even though it's based in America, I have an issue with, like, Light's name being Light.
Yep.
Yeah. If you wanted to make an American Death Note, you could still have Lakeith Stanfield be L and just be, like, another L.
Yeah. He didn't have to be the L.
Didn't have to be the L, and you could have just renamed the character. Like, you renamed everybody else except for Light. Okay, sorry. But yeah, Lakeith probably is the only one who actually studied.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, too, I will say, because it was one of the big like, when the movie was announced, people were pissed how like, whitewashed it was, and it's one of those things, if you want to adapt it and make it into something in their world, but not directly these characters, that's a different story. Now, like, doing what they did, that was whitewashing of the entire story, and misrace casting, because I know Lakeith Stanfield had been like, well, I'm black, so this isn't whitewashing. It's like, but it's not casting correctly.
It's still a problem. Like, that's and I don't know if they did that purposely to, like, combat that comment.
I wonder if they did.
I feel I wouldn't hold it against them if they. I mean, first off, I would hold it against them.
Because, like, Watari is also Japanese. They didn't change him. And
exactly.
So it's kind of like, I feel like they kept some pieces so that they couldn't get told that.
And Lakeith apparently was raised in Japan. Like, he was from an orphanage in Japan, and they even gave L's light backstory, like, his very light backstory of, like, being an orphan and how he was trained to be, like, the top detective and all this stuff.
And he spoke Japanese, and his caretaker was Japanese, but you didn't make L Japanese?
Exactly, and I think that's probably the issue I have, where it's like, again, it would have been better if it, like, as one of the tweets said earlier, it would have been better if this was an anthology series. It would have been better if you just said this was the Death Note story from the American point of view.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, it could have been cool, too, because they could have made their own Shinigami. They could have, like, done something different and, like, continued on in this universe, and people probably would have loved it. And, like, it sucks, because, like, I think you're right. Like, Lakeith is, like, the only person who's, like, studied his character. Like, he really did embody L for the first half of the movie. The problem
fell apart.
It stood out so much next to everybody else that it didn't. It was like, he was good, but because nothing else was good, I'm like, I don't want to watch this. This is just, like, awkward.
Yeah, like, the chemistry between him and Light talking, when they first talk face to face, it is so bad. Like, it is like a grown man is shouting at a child when it should really be two great minds debating with one another. Yep. It shouldn't be that because I'm like, he is literally confessing to the man who is hunting Kira And he's confessing to everything and telling him, like, you don't understand. You don't get it. You don't understand me. I hate you. You're not my dad. That is what the whole conversation sounded like to me in my head.
Yeah.
It's him trying to basically, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like, what's it called? It's his monologue? What is it called when villains start giving away their evil plans?
I mean, I don't know if it has to have like a tropey name because they always do it. I don't know. Yeah. It's not a monologue because they're interacting with each other. But
yeah, I just can't remember what it's called when it's like it happens.
It's a classic villain moment.
Yeah, when he's like, let me tell you all my evil plans, but I'm not telling you everything. But I'm just like, yeah, you are. I was just like, God dang it, this is terrible. And that book that he was looking at in broad damn daylight about Shinigamis, can we talk about how Ryuk's face is just perfectly captured?
Oh, yeah.
That's not weird at all.
100%, yep.
That's not weird at all.
Well, Ryuk is the only Shinigami in existence.
Apparently. That got exhausting.
It's so hard. Like, I don't know if Adam Wingard or any of the writers, because it's also, I also just don't like products with multiple, like a movie with multiple writers on it, because it always gets messy. But, like, I don't know if they actually, like, took time to appreciate, like, the depth that there is in Death Note. Because none of it lands, man. And it doesn't even try to land.
No. It doesn't. I feel like, at least from what I remember from watching some of the live action Japanese versions, like the original ones, I feel like it does a better job of really shaping the characters. Like, I remember, like, we're gonna probably eventually watch them, but I remember, like, there's a scene where Light is, like, interacting with people socially. Like, he's playing basketball at his university. Like, just like, and he has a girlfriend, and he's talking to everyone normally, and he's interacting, he's friendly, and then he gets alone by himself, and then you see his personality switch. And it's like, it's literally like someone flipped a switch, and now he's talking to Ryuk.
Yeah.
And it's like, then, like, we didn't see that with this Light. He was literally on angsty teen times 9,000 the entire time.
Yeah, and there was nothing about him that was charismatic. There was nothing about him that could draw people in. Like, and so I find it really hard to believe that that Light Turner can make a Cult of Kira, because, like, I don't understand it. I did find a quote from Adam Wingard, though, on the whole, on the diverging of the story as well as, like, the character casting. And so he said, it's one of those things where the harder I tried to stay 100% true to the source material, the more it just kind of fell apart. You're in a different country, you're in a different kind of environment, and you're trying to also summarize a sprawling series into a 2-hour-long film. For me, it became about, what do these themes mean to modern-day America, and how does that affect the way we tell our story? He also said that he mainly attempted to make a unique and different take on the original manga, while also trying to keep the core themes and elements of the original manga intact, such as a cat and mouse dynamic between the main protagonist, themes of morality and justice, the difference between good and evil, certain characteristics and elements of original characters. And that's pretty much it. And I just feel like he acknowledges the problems, but still did it. Yeah, because, like, how you said it's supposed to be a game of cat and mouse. There was no game of cat and mouse. If there was a game of cat and mouse, it was Mia being the cat. Exactly. Like, they were the cat and mouse.
Like, Mia was...
That was it.
That was it. And it's like, Mia is probably the true cat, and Light and Elle are the mice, because Elle never suspected Mia of anything.
No, never.
And I think I almost now think about it, just like, damn, if Mia had gotten away with it, not mad at her.
Oh, yeah. And it's just, and it's just frustrating because, like, as the director, like, he acknowledges, like, the issues of trying to stay with the anime and the manga, but, like, at the end of the day, you still chose to do that. Like, if you wanted to adapt it for an American audience, you could have done that in a way that used uniquely American and not this, which I know we've said, like, shit, take a drink every time we say that, but, like, it's just really true, and it's hard because, like, I think it is something that could have worked because, like, back to, like, a positive of it, like, the movie is beautiful. Like, the way it's shot is really pretty. The use of lighting, the use of colors, that it's really well done in that respect, but you lose it because you have no depth in these characters, and the character designs, ultimately, with the exception of Elle, aren't that well done either. They're very, very basic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's not like... I mean, I still don't understand why they gave him yellow streaks from the 90s in his hair.
Right?
Whatever that was supposed to be. Like, he's super edgy.
Who still has frosted tips?
Nobody. That's why he's so edgy. He brought it back so he can be a rebel. Just, God. But it's just like, again, like you said, he's not charismatic. There's nothing like... And I'm not saying this about him physically. I'm saying this in a general sense. There's nothing attractive to him about him. Whereas, like, in the anime and in the manga, Light has this, like, aura around him.
Yeah.
That makes people want to be around him. Yep. He is able to interact. He is able to hide his true self around people long enough, or at least avoid interacting with people. And then he's able to flip that switch, go out into the world, get all these deep secrets from people like, oh, tell me how to spell your name. No reason. Just unsuspiciously asking questions to your police chief father and getting details so you could thwart their plans. That is what Light does. Not this Light. He's just creeping around in the dark with all the lights off, sneaking up on his dad, asking questions that are super suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they're in the middle, like, Mia and Light Turner are in the middle of their damn living room. Like, so who do you want to kill today? I was like, what?
What? Just...
Why?
Remember, they're at the library with their hoodies up.
Oh, that's right. There's that one, too.
We found another person we could kill. Loudly. People are right there.
Yeah.
In a library where it's quiet and you can hear anything. I hate these kids.
Oh, I do too.
I just hate them so much. But it's like stupid stuff like that repeatedly happens. It's just like they're in public. Like, she's constantly coming over to his house. I mean, I guess it's because his dad isn't there that they feel so free to speak loudly. But when you first find out that you're being trailed by the FBI, don't you think your house might be bugged?
Right?
But no, y'all still are talking about killing people.
It sucks. And, like, when you look at, like, the legacy of the original Death Note, like the original Death Note, actually, I said they only has 2 movies. It doesn't only have 2 movies, actually. It has 3 movies, a musical, a miniseries. Actually, it has 4 movies, a musical, a miniseries, and a TV drama, and then this movie. So 5 movies total, a musical and a TV drama, and a miniseries. That is what, like, this thing is a touchstone in anime.
I mean, it is. I mean, I'm curious about the musical. Does a musical count as a live adaptation that we can watch?
I kind of want to. I kind of want to watch it more than the Japanese adaptations of it.
I mean, I've got vacation time coming up for the holidays. I've got to watch something when snow hits here in Chicagoland. So maybe we just might have a weekend filled with bad Death Note adaptations.
Neysha, it looks good.
The musical?
Yes.
Okay, is Dean Fujioka in it?
No.
Oh, I don't want to watch it.
all I know is I'm looking at this gorgeous picture of Misa Shinigami.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Alright. We will.
It actually looks pretty good.
Okay. We'll add it to the list.
I don't know how they did this in a musical, but I am not against watching it.
It's on the list, Kate. You sold me on it.
No, I'm not against it. I do know that Crunchyroll has the 2015 drama series. So if you have Crunchyroll. But, like, beyond that, there's actually been video games made about Death Note.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, are we talking about Jump?
Not Jump. I mean, so they Death Note video game was developed for the Nintendo DS called Death Note Kira game, and it was released in 2007. And it's essentially a turn-based strategy game where you pick the role of Kira or L.
Okay.
And you essentially just deduce who your enemy is. It's essentially playing through their stuff. You have an investigation, you discuss the case inclusive characters, you vote where each member of the investigation team casts a vote on who is L and who is Kira. Like, it actually seems kind of cool. And then there's a second game, which is just a sequel, so, like, successors to L, and that was released, like, later on, and it's a storyline based on the second part of the manga, like Mello and Nier, which are the two people that happen after L dies, and then there's a third game called Spiraling Trap, where you essentially assume the role of a rookie FBI agent who awakens in a strange hotel and attempts to escape with the help of L, and then is featured in Jump.
Interesting. Did not know that.
Yep. I honestly, I did not realize how big this movie is, or this anime is. And so I feel even more angry about, disappointed and frustrated and just, like, all types of negative feelings towards this American adaptation, given this long legacy and, like, what surrounds Death Note and all the different types of content that Adam Wingard and his team could have reached out to make a good movie.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I feel like the lore alone, like, I think deserved...
you could do so much.
It deserved to be explored more. I will not stop saying that they would have benefited by just saying this was connected to the Japanese live action, or, like, to the story. Like, oh, we just wrapped up a similar case over in Japan like this, and, like, oh, we saw it happening there, and then, like, the mantle is picked up again and Kira lives on, like, something like that. Or, you know, maybe Light Turner admired Light Yagami's Kira, like, like, something like that, because it's not crazy to say that there's not copycat serial killers. Like, that's basically what he would have been like. But I feel like that was just, like, again, it's just one of the biggest things, because I would have enjoyed seeing more of that played out, more of the more interactions from Ryuk, and, like, seeing him just being this annoying, but yet, I guess, comedic relief is what he technically is in the anime.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, it's just, there wasn't enough of that. I mean, which I think they do a tremendous job in the Japanese live adaptations of him. It's like they truly don't downplay his goofiness, but then it's like he's goofy and he's psychotic. But there's so much more. But let's get through the rest of this recap, and just skip on ahead to the prom. The terrible, generic, sparkly-ass prom.
Glitter glam prom.
Glitter glam.
Was the theme.
There it is. Glitter glam chic prom.
And, like, right before this, too, like, you do have Light essentially orchestrate the death of Watari in, like, a really weird way by trying to get the name.
Which I have issues with.
Well, there are a lot of issues with it.
I have so many issues. And his whole thing is like, well, I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to, like, wipe his memory and then I'll burn his page. And I guess, like, his whole thing, like, hearing from Rake say, like, you only get one page. I mean, he makes a lot of dumb decisions before he has all the details. Like, he just really, and I'm like, why is it that Watari is what makes you so adamant about not killing him? Is this supposed to make us feel sympathetic for you now because you don't want to kill an innocent man?
Yeah, I think it was. Because I think this is during the part where he, like, tells me, because, also through this entire time, Mia wants to kill his dad.
Oh, yeah. We freaking forgot about that.
Explicitly says that she wants to kill his dad.
his actual father, because his father makes a statement on TV and she's like, oh shit, well, we gotta kill him now. I mean, don't you think it's gonna be suspicious if he kills his father?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, it was suspicious that he didn't kill his father, but the point is, how quick she was to grab the book and write down his father's name. That was terrifying. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously not scary, but, like, disturbing is probably the word I want to say.
Yeah, it was disturbing, and it was even more, in my opinion, it was even more disturbing because he did not care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was like, oh, no, can't kill my dad, but he was still in love with Mia. Like, there were so many moments where it's like, dude, stop. Like excuse my French, but put your dick away and, like, just stop.
No, like, I think that's the right thing to say, because that was really the problem, is, like, he did not... Confidence. Self-worth. Know these things, children. Don't let anyone manipulate them against you, because I feel like that was Light's problem. He did
100%.
He just, like, yeah, she manipulated him with sex. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, she did. If anything, the only person who deserves anything out of this damn movie is Mia, because she at least knew what she was doing from the jump and was like, yeah, I have this, and knew all the buttons to push.
I agree. Because, I mean, like, she was just like, I can become a death god. I just have to make out with this boy. No big deal. And lo and behold, that's kind of what her ultimate plan was when she realized that she couldn't control him. And by proxy, because, like, she's like, we. She was the one who said we. Yep. She was the one who put that in his head. It's like, we'll do it together. Like, what is this we shit? Like, I'm the one who's going to have to go to limbo for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Or what is it? Purgatory. Like, me. I have to face this when I die. And I'm just like, that's kind of ingenious. If she had just played along, she could have just still gotten everything she wanted and just not had any consequences.
Yep.
But, I mean, she got power hungry, too, and she got a god complex. I mean, when you look at it as like, oh, she was really the smartest one, I can't blame her. But I can blame her, because she was a real sociopath.
Yep.
And I didn't like her whole thing. It's just like, I'm a cheerleader. My life means nothing. And because this is when she comes back and apologizes. I'm just a cheerleader. My life means nothing. I'm like, girl, do you not have anything else going on in your life? This is really how you feel. Really.
Who are your parents? Do you have any siblings? Do you have any hobbies?
I think she killed them.
She probably did.
I would not be surprised if that was a deleted scene, or it should have. I'm just saying. If, like, he goes to her house and it's revealed that she actually killed her parents. Because she's that crazy.
Yeah. And you know what? That would have been better. That would have been better than what we got.
To see how sinister she truly is. I mean,
because that's the thing. I guess, like, they don't go all the way, right? Like, they show us hints of her sociopathy, but they don't go like 100% of the way, because then they just redirect back to him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's not. And I think that's really what it is, and maybe she's just used as a plot device, really. Like, her, I would say, ingenuity or geniusness is kind of downplayed in order to move the plot along. And then things are always brought back to him, where it's like, he's not the one, because then it's revealed eventually that she's the one that caused all the FBI agents to kill themselves. And I'm trying to figure out, how did he not catch that?
Yeah, how did he not be like, whoa, all these FBI agents just jumped off a bridge, or jumped off a building?
Like, did they make that publicly? No, I mean, like, I'm really, like, I'm not going back to rewatch it. I'm not.
No,
I just realized, like, she was the one that was smart enough to basically manipulate with one sheet of paper. She manipulated and killed 20 people. With one sheet of paper of the Death Note. And Ryuk even said, like, oh, I like her better.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah. Which, one of my favorite scenes, and I say favorite lightly, when Light threatens Ryuk to put his name in the Death Note.
Yes.
You threatened a death god, son? You threatened...
So good.
It is his book. He is already dead. You like, he really let his ego get to the best of him. You threaten a god of death?
Mm-hmm.
Idiot. I laughed.
He's just like...
my little gif of that Reaper puppet.
Oh, yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, I loved it because it was just like, I have 4 letters in my name. Nobody's gotten past 2. I'm just like, yeah, you tell him, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, he did that. But at the same time, someone did get past 2 in the notes. But I guess it doesn't matter because it's in the rules section.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I just wanted to correct him. I mean, like, now, I kind of would have liked to have seen, like, a flashback of, like, all the people that have had the Death Note. I would find that more interesting.
That would have been good, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, ultimately, like, what the movie suffers from is, like, God, I don't want this movie to be longer, but, like, it should have been one character with the note. It should have been his connection to his or her connection to the Shinigami, and it should have been a back and forth with L, because what they needed to do is they needed to really, like, what do you call it? Expand that lore and pull you into that world. Mm-hmm. Because, like, if you don't get pulled into it, you can't do anything.
I agree.
Like, there's nothing to anchor you in it. There's nothing for you to invest yourself in it as an audience member. And it's just hard. Like, ugh. Also, like, I know it is the beginning, but why the hell did that boy scream like that? I know we're going back. We should probably end this soon. But, like, when he first sees Ryuk, I'm just like, why are you screaming like this? It's been hitting in my head this entire time.
Oh. I mean...
It hurts.
I don't know. I guess maybe it'd be super bizarre if he just stared at him the way that, like, Anime Light did. I mean, Anime Light even kind of gave a reaction of just like, whoa, and jumped, but I have no idea.
Anyway, what else? Did we cover it all? Oh yeah, Glamour Prom. Yeah, yep. Do you want to just like wrap that up?
Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna do it. Let me just. Okay, you guys might have heard my shoulders pop. Okay.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, they do that. It's normal. I'll keep it there. Okay, it's normal. It's fine. They go to prom.
I just thought it was like, I gotta get ready for this. Pop.
They go to prom. She puts this dumb top hat on him, and it's because before all this happened, L has now, because of them sending Watery, like, they basically wrote Watery's name in the Death Note and said that, like, he becomes obsessed with getting the true identity of Kira, and they send him to Japan to go and get it. So, like, that's what Watery is doing. So now L has lost his shit, and he's just like, oh, hell no. Where is my caretaker? No. And he's now he put out a warrant to search Light's house for the Death Note. That they can't find anything in the house, which now Light's freaking out, goes to school. Mia, he bumps into her. She hands him a top hat for prom, and he looks in the note, and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, I have it. So she took the Death Note, and he's like, oh, great, the girl I love is saving me and thinking about my best interest. This is perfectly fine. We're all going to be okay. So, and we just have to wait it out until Watery gives us the name, and I can save Watery and I can kill L. That's his plan. So they go to the prom. The FBI or whatever special agents are still following them, and they're just there at the dance watching Light and her dance all over the place. Like, oh, and you have to love. They're ugly. Where's who cool to be here?
Oh God, their photo booth photos.
Mm-hmm. Like, Jesus. Again, the angsty, I'm so tortured, but I'm really not tortured because mommy and daddy can take care of me. God, yeah. Like, ugh, that's really what I get from them, is that y'all have no serious issues right now that are pressing. Yes, Light probably should have gone and gotten therapy, but you also are not, your life isn't terrible. It isn't that terrible.
And they didn't even write these people to be good villains in that way.
No, it's just like, oh, sorry, one more thing. This is where we saw that Mia was starting to, like, rebel against Light. this is where, like, they made a site that was dedicated to Kira. Like, basically, imagine a Tumblr page where people can, like, upload names for people to kill, and it's, like, Justice by Kira. And she's like, oh, we should kill people on for here. And this is, I guess, the one time we see Elle show a backbone and initiative. Yeah. And he's like, no, we can't just kill these people. Like, we don't have any evidence. They haven't been convicted. And it's like, to Mia's point, she's just like, well, these are people that are saying they've been raped or they were attacked or they're being abused. And I'm like, I see where she's going with this, but at the same time, you're now allowing people to kill possibly innocent people.
Yeah.
Like, you're not taking into consideration of people who have been wrongly accused of things. I'm just imagining if somebody, like, in this day and age tried to, like, upload a name and, like, oh, Kira, please kill this person. They groped me.
Can you imagine Tumblr or even just Twitter? Mm-hmm. Like, why would this be a good idea to do things?
It's a terrible idea because you have to, and this again was the point, is like, you have to have proof. You have to justice has to, like, the system has to work in order for Light's system to work, is that if they are convicted and that they are truly evil, then he can kill them. Not just killing people who are being accused. And I say that as in, like, not, like, taking victims lightly, but it wouldn't take anything for somebody to kill an innocent person that way. It's just like that. It's getting really muddy. You don't know who you're killing anymore.
Yep. Entirely. So yeah, now, like, all of the concepts of, like, good versus evil or justice or morality, they go out the window.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of like a little back part of, like, how you see why Mia was getting fed up with Light. So now they're at the prom. All this crap is going on. Forgive me, I'm blanking. He realizes that Mia wrote his name in the death note. And, now I remember. So he's on the phone with Watari, which his phone bill must be hella high. You're taking a call from Japan. But your dad isn't suspicious at all because y'all don't have burner phones. Why would you have burner phones? That's another reason why they probably suspected you were Kira, you idiot, because your cell phone is making a call in Japan. So yeah, that happens. He's on the phone with Watari. Watari's almost got the identity of Elle. He's just about to get it when suddenly Watari's gunned down by people that are looking for him, which that could have been avoided.
It's so fucking awkward.
It's
like so like there's this point where, like, the Death Note says that, like, it has to be from an entirely realistic thing. Like, a shark can't come up from your toilet when somebody's sitting on it. But how is this realistic?
I think this is my confusion. So was it that were those people supposed to be, like, the task force that Elle sent looking for him? Did somebody? But then that doesn't explain the shooting unless somebody accidentally killed him, because they're saying, did you, like, are you Watari? This is where I think Mia might have came in and added to Light's original note for Watari and added how he died.
Well, that's true. Because I think Ryuko only says he says, like you said, dealer's choice or something like that. But it totally could have been Mia doing it.
Exactly. In that case, then she becomes the dealer.
Yeah. So that's true.
That was just like a loophole that wasn't really, like, you know, we didn't really get much, like, insight on, like, why he died that way. But that's how Watari died. He didn't have to die. I thought he was a snack. I thought he was handsome.
Oh, yes, he was.
A handsome gray man. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Seasoned man.
All I know is I would go on a date with Light's dad, and I would definitely take Watari home. Like,
same.
Come on now.
Yeah, I would take Watari home. Light's dad is handsome and nice, but...
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would go on a first date. Yeah, no. I would go on a first date with Light's dad. That's it. I would take him on a date. Now, I take Watari home. Because Watari is gorgeous.
Very. He takes care of himself for a man his age, or whatever age he is. I don't know.
He just looks good.
He does. And that is our thirst for the movie, because there is nobody else.
Oh, no. Nobody else in a movie with somebody, like, kind of almost our age leading it. Nobody else.
Nobody else. And I said, but Keith is okay. But he says he's too damn problematic to me. Not to me. He's too problematic for me on Twitter. So I can't.
He is. Yeah, I completely. Until you said that, I have. Okay, things are popping back into my head now.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, back to the prom. So now Light has realized that the page is gone. He can't save Watchery. Watchery dies, and he didn't get the identity of Kira. Of Elle. So now he realizes, oh shit, Mia has been playing me this entire time, and she has a note. She took the page. She did all these things. She said all this stuff in the emotion. And she wrote his name into the death note. So now she is telling him that you will give me the death note, you'll make me the owner, or you'll die at midnight from your heart stopping. This freaks him out, and he still loves her for whatever freaking reason.
Like how? Oh, because she's like, I'll take your page out. I'll take your page out once you give me the death note.
Because that's what love is. That's not what love is. So, yeah, this then leads Light to apparently showing that he's a genius for the first time since he was doing all those people's homework. That he can come up with an ingenious plan.
Right. This is the only other time that he shows any sort of intellect.
No, I know, right? I was just like trying to figure that out, why, but this is the only other time we see him really show that he is a genius, and he puts together a plan into motion. We don't realize he's putting a plan into motion until, like, he reveals it. But, so we'll explain that later. So now he decides to make a run for it from the prom because now Elle is after him. Elle's found out that Walter is dead. So he's like, oh, I'm about to kill you. And Elle has a fancy silver gun from Men in Black, as Kate said on Twitter. Whatever. Yep. I don't understand what that gun was.
I had no idea. That came from, like, a different movie set. They must have been filming Altered Carbon at the same time, and they were like, yeah, we're going to grab this gun and pull it over to the Death Note set real quick. We got to get something for Elle to carry around.
It just didn't make any sense. I don't know if it's just, like, a special gun that he uses that doesn't kill people, because he even says, like, oh, I don't like guns. They're distracting. But whatever. That happens. They even have, like, this standoff in the freaking alleyway, because he's been chasing him, and he's like, oh no, I got you, and, like, there's, like, a lot of gibberish and yelling, and he's like, what did I tell you if Watcher didn't return to me safely? And Elle's like, you don't understand. Light's like, you don't understand. You got, like, no one's in control. I can't control it. And he says something about a calculus book in a page.
Yeah.
And I even missed it. I'm not going back to rewatch it. But I was just like,
weird. It was like, it's as easy as writing a calculus book, or writing in a calculus book, I think, or something like that.
Oh, that was really dumb.
Yeah, it was stupid.
That was really
stupid,
dumb.
And the line made no sense.
It made no sense. It's like he wanted to tell on himself. Oh my God. I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
Because at this point, it's also like, with everything that we've seen, it's hard to judge how, like, Elle, I think, is smart, but, like, it's hard to judge just how much, because it's so easy. Like, there's no problem, and he never suspects Mia.
He never suspects Mia. And I don't know, I mean, like, and she's with Light all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's a credit to her, or if that's a credit to just, Elle's focus, like, extreme focus on her. I mean, like, but even in the anime, again, we say this, Elle suspected Misa.
Oh, yeah.
Of helping
Misa
Light.
Gets 100%, and she ends up getting taken into, like, a secret prison and, like, held there.
Mm-hmm. Where it's just like he thought of her as a true contender. So I don't know if this is just like this Elle's, like, ego, and he's like, oh, it can't be a woman. It's gonna be like, this is the profile. That's what I was
just about to say. I was like, so it sounds like they tried to make Misa, like, switch up the gender dynamic and the power dynamic, and then they ruin it by having Elle completely dismiss her, or like not even have her come up, right?
I think so. I think that really does it. But Who knows? So yeah, now we get to, they're in the alleyway. He has him cornered. He has him stopped. And then somebody comes out the doorway. And he's like, don't worry, I have it all under control. This man is Kira, and I'm going to take him in. And the guy behind him hits him in the back of the head because he is a part of Kira's cult. He's like, Lord Kira. Okay. I'm like, it's weird that you believe that this person is Kira based off of one thing, but okay, fine, sure. And so Light runs away. He goes to the pier where him and Mia, whatever, all these names, where him and Mia went on a date this one time. My God, like normal children instead of killing people. And so that's where they go, and he grabbed Elle's gun, and he runs super fast. He runs so bad. So terrible. Jesus. I hate when people run badly.
I think, like I said on Twitter, it's worse than Ezra Miller as the Flash.
Mm-hmm. That is a weird run, but this is even weirder than that. So he grabs Mia to get on the Ferris wheel, and then he shoots the Ferris wheel to stop them at the top of it, which dumb. And then he's like, gets to the top, like, let's just run away. We'll take the death note and we'll run away. We'll leave everything behind. Let's just run away. I'm like, how are you going to run away? The cops are surrounding you, and you just made yourselves get stuck on top of the fucking Ferris wheel. How are you going to run away?
Stupid.
Let's run
away, Mia.
This is
gonna
why
jump in the water.
Yeah, this is why I don't trust that he is that smart, because he does things like this without thinking through. So now she's like, tells him, yeah, I love you, and then like, great, okay, and then she snatches the book, and then this is where me and Kate were just like dying of laughter because of their argument that ensues. God. Again, if you guys have ever seen like two teenagers who are on a date arguing about like, hey babe, what do you want to get for dinner? And the girl is like, I don't know, I'm just hungry. And the guy's like, but babe, what do you want to eat? And then it escalates into, I'm just hungry. And then it's like, do you want Chipotle? I don't know, Dylan, I'm just hungry. It's just... It is so bad. It's
that
like,
is so accurate.
It is literally what it made me think of, is just like two teenagers arguing if they're going to eat at Chipotle or not.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It was mind-numbing. It was, and then like their the facial reactions were like, you put my name in the note. He's just like, well, you told me you loved me. You're only gonna die if you grab the death note. I'm just like, okay.
It was so stupid.
But then I thought again, okay, so he didn't burn, so Watri died.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and Mia, and his note, and his page was still in the death note.
No. So his page falls out and then lands in the fire.
No, and yes, exactly. But couldn't he have just ripped out his page and burnt it in the fire before all this stuff happened?
Oh. Yeah.
Because he had the death note.
Yeah.
See, that's where, again, I'm just like, you could have saved yourself and ran away without her. But you thought she loved you, you dummy fool.
Super dummy fool.
Super Saiyan dummy fool.
Oh, God.
So, and then, like, this
You're
is where...
so right.
And then this is where I just, like, I'm finding all the holes. Because, like, he could have done that. And that would have, like, he could have avoided this situation. So it's unless he truly wanted to see if she loved him, which, again, dumb. But then it just doesn't make sense. You could have saved yourself and you didn't have to do all this. And then you would have been free.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Like, you could have gone your own separate ways, which I think would have been a better ending. It's like him burning his page out and then walking away.
100%.
But instead he doesn't. So then this leads into like a domino effect of events of like, they're going to die. Like, so now this sends her, by her taking the death note, it brings his writings to truth into motion, where like the Ferris wheel is tipping over, they're falling out of it. He tries to save her. Does she reach for the death note again? And is that what kills her?
I don't know. I think so, but I'm not too sure. I think she just falls.
Oh, yeah, it was the book. That's right. The book was falling too. She did grab it, and then, like, because he wrote his, like, as Mia falls, she grabs the page.
Oh, that's right.
Out of the Death Note.
And then she pulls the page out, and then when she falls into... And that was actually a really pretty scene. She falls into, like, this giant flower area, and the flowers pop up. That was really pretty.
That was pretty, and then she died instantly.
Yep. Because he loved her, so she instantly died.
Yeah, love. Ugh, I don't want that kind of love.
No.
So, that happens, and... yeah, that happened. So then, and Light falls into the water. So, days later, Light is waking up in the hospital, and he's been in a coma, and killings are still happening. I guess. So this is proving that Light can't be Kira, because how would he possibly be killing people if he's in a coma? So, and they still don't understand. No one still knows about the Death Note at this point. So that's a thing. So now Light's dad comes to the hospital, and he sits next to him, and he wakes up, and he asks him, and he basically says, "It's like, it was you, wasn't it? And it's all because of one damn newspaper clipping that Light didn't put back." That reveals it to him. Light's dad finds the newspaper clipping of the man that killed his mother, and that his father kept in his safe. And his dad's like, that guy, the person who was like holding the hostage situation, wasn't Kira's first act. It was this, like, first public act. It was this one. Yeah. And that's, like, what he puts all the pieces together, which I'm like, kudos to Light's dad. He's a genius, because he's smarter than L.
Exactly. And then it's funny, because it's not even his first act.
It's still not his first one, but... You gotta give him some credit. The first one doesn't count.
Oh, yeah. No. I definitely give him credit. Like, the dad was able to figure this all out, and then, like, it also just makes me sad, because Light doesn't deserve his dad, because, like, it looks like his dad is still willing to love him unconditionally. Even though this, like, he knows what he did.
Oh, I agree. And like, his dad's reaction to everything seemed... Yeah. It's, again, slightly unnerving. Just because, like, how they're, like, having this conversation as if it's, like, son, you did something bad. Or, like, I don't know. It's just...
It's weird.
It is.
It's weird. It like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's all a mess. It is all a mess.
It is very much all of a mess. So then, like, yeah, now that they're on the, like, Light basically tells his father everything instead of denying it. He could have just said, like, I uploaded the name to a Kira website.
Yeah, you're right. He easily could have just been like, I put it on a Kira message board. Oh my god, Neysha, you cracked it. Even this last part is stupid.
Thank you. I mean, granted, it would have been a long shot, but... Still, it would have bought you some time. Your dad might have kept quiet. But anyway, so Light explains his masterful plan of how he picked a pedophile mailman to retrieve the Death Note from the lake or ocean or whatever that it fell into, and how he instructed a doctor to be close by who was also a pedophile or sexual assaulter, so that he would revive Light from after being pulled from the water, and how he planned for Mia to die, and just like, and then later he killed both the mailman and the doctor to, like, you know, pretty much get rid of them because they're garbage, but also because they serve their purpose.
Exactly.
And yeah, so then and then L keeps on thinking over and over and over again about what Light said about a calculus book. And so he's like, was there a calculus book that was taken from Light's home when you guys seized all his stuff? He goes there, finds the calculus book, finds the page that Mia had with all of the FBI agents' names on there. And I believe that's Walter's name is on there too.
Yep.
And I think he's deduced that this is how they kill.
Yep.
And it ends with Elle contemplating if he should write down Light's name or not.
Yeah. See, and that's one of those things that, like, I guess this is why they leave it open to a second one, but I in my head, I would just rather Elle being like, fuck it, I'm writing down Light's name.
I agree.
Because at this point, all the moral quandaries and all that stuff is all over the place anyway. Mm-hmm. So, like, just go all out and go all out and have him get killed. Because
I agree. I mean, it's just and I mean, maybe that's what's supposed to be in that last moments of this. Like, Elle is contemplating, I'm no better than Kira / Light if I do this. Is that, like, why he hesitates and he starts laughing? But it's like, I just feel like, hey, this was not that much of a challenge for you, man. This wasn't like, this broke you because he killed Watari. This wasn't.
Exactly.
This wasn't like, even in the anime, I just, like, Elle didn't succumb to that.
No, he didn't. It was a constant, like, because it was one of those things, I think in the anime, if I remember correctly, I watched it, like, I don't know, I think I watched it, like, maybe 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. But, like, in the anime, he, like, takes it in stride, but also because it was, like, Watari knew what was going to happen to him.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, it's just so weird.
It really ended in a weird place, and I'm just like, and I say this is like, because we're getting a sequel, it's just a reminder of, like, why not to hate watch things when they first come out. Like, I didn't watch this, I didn't plan on ever watching this, but it's like, when we hate watch things, and then when a lot of people hate watch it, it misreads. Like, Netflix will read it as, oh, people still watched it, so we're gonna make another one.
Season 1.
Yep. And it's just, if you don't like it, don't watch it right away. Just, I don't know, that's my suggestion for people in the future. But now we're gonna have another one of these come to the world. Great. Don't know where they're gonna go with this at all. Maybe they'll listen to us and start all over again with a new Death Note holder.
Or they're just going to pick up where they left off.
I can't even get words out. Like, where do you go? Where do you go from here?
I know.
Like, I mean, we know at the ending that, like, they basically are talking to Elle and saying, like, you have to admit that Light is innocent. So is it that his dad is going to hide everything? Because that's really all that can happen, is that if there's going to be a sequel, his dad has to lie. And, like, cover up his son, everything his son has done.
Yep.
Right.
That's all it's going to be.
It may be. I mean, and then what is he going to do? He's going to kill his dad? Because that, again, that's another thing that happens. Like, in the anime, Light's dad, like, sacrifices himself. Not knowing that his son is Kira.
Oh, yeah, but it's because, like, and it's one of those things, it's because he's done so well at working his dad over, pretty much.
Oh, for sure. Like, there's that,
and it's like, his dad loves him.
Oh, yeah, like, they honestly are super close. Like, that was another thing, like, how Light helped his dad's police force, like, on a bunch of cases and stuff. That's another reason why Light was, like, slightly a suspect, but also, like, it showed that his sense of justice was in the right place. At least in the beginning. It's just a lot of missed opportunities. And that concludes our recap. Man, that took a lot out of me.
That was hard.
Very. Okay. What's one thing we liked?
From a horror fan's perspective, and I find this really hard because one of my favorite horror podcasts, Fright Day, they actually gave this movie like a fairly positive review, but they had never seen the anime. They didn't know the anime existed. Okay. But that being said, Charles, who was tweeting along with us, he hadn't either, and he was like, "This is ass." But I can appreciate that the kills were very gory and very B-movie style, Final Destination style, and they're kind of good. But given everything else around them, that doesn't carry anything up. But yeah, so I liked the kills, Willem Dafoe's acting capabilities, not necessarily the characterization of Ryuk.
Mm-hmm.
And Lakeith Stanfield's L, if he was in a movie where he didn't have Watari as a caretaker and he wasn't speaking Japanese to Watari and he was surrounded by a cast who had also done their homework.
I agree. Yes. So yeah, same. I liked Willem Dafoe's portrayal, but I did not care for Ryuk's characterization either. So Willem Dafoe did a great job, but he could not save this movie. But I feel like he at least did a decent job in his role. And I would say, as much as I don't really care for Lakeith Stanfield and his problematic nature, I will admire his dedication to bringing out L's characteristics to the film. Like, the sweets, even though we didn't see him eat cake, and cake is his favorite, but as Lizzie mentioned, but I would say, yeah, that is it. And Mia being a genius, but that's it. I'll give her that she's very smart, but that child annoyed me. Every teenager in this movie annoyed me.
Completely. They were just so bad.
Terrible. And on to what we hate. This entire movie.
Everything. All of it. It's so bad.
I hate how much they tried so hard to make us realize how hardcore and rebellious Light and Mia were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm Googling the term because I just want to make sure I'm using it correctly.
I hated how much they splintered the character and ignored the source material. I hated how much they absolutely refused to acknowledge, issues and things. Ugh.
Okay, found it. They're basically edgelords. That is like...
Yes!
I just want to make sure I used it. That is what they are. And I think that's what pissed me off. Because, everyone has had that person in their classroom when they were in high school who was, who felt like they were so above everybody else. Who felt like they were so, beneath... everyone else was beneath them. And that... they were so edgy and all this other stuff.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's it. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah. That's the best way to describe them. And that's why I hated them.
Messy edgelords.
Very messy. And as we said, it's like if somebody threw up on 2018 and gave it all the money to decorate them in Hot Topic. Nothing against Hot Topic. I loved that pace growing up.
I worked there for 2 years, and I can say as somebody who worked there for 2 years, this is exactly what you would get.
Yep, exactly. Alrighty then. So we've said what we liked. We said what we hated. What is left? Oh yeah, ratings? Oh no, did they have
ratings. To? Yeah, did they have to? Did they have to?
Nope. I will say
nope. There are 4 other existing movies. You in no way had to do this.
You did not have to do this. If you wanted to make an American Death Note, you could have easily just made an American Death Note. You didn't have to do Death Note, the American version. You could have just done it from the perspective of you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Redo it.
You could have just done a completely different thing with our own people.
Yeah, exactly.
And our own stories and
the culture didn't have to be so. I don't know. It could have been done in a better way.
It really could have.
Yeah. And yeah. So then, lastly, ratings. I feel like I'm gonna let you go.
10, because I feel like I need to be hammered to watch this again.
I'm gonna say all the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that goes beyond 10. I'm just saying,
just
all the drinks. I just can't. I will not watch this again. Y'all will have to pay me a lot of money. I'm just not doing it. Nope. Can't ever make us do it again. So I hope you guys are happy. If you ever want that live audio of us, like, discussing it, that's not going to happen unless we get 300 followers.
Yep.
And, yeah, just no. No. I'm tired. This movie, the recap wore me out, like this movie wore me out.
I'm tired. I'm going to bed after this because we've been at this for a while because we just had so much we had to say.
We did. I mean, we did good. We did a great recap.
We did very good. I think this was great. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, oh, God.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep. Yay us. We did it. Hallelujah. Yay. I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore.
I don't know. This is Halloween. Happy Halloween, people.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yes. Okay, then. Let's see. Any news we need to talk about before we sign off? I think we're good on all things.
I think we're good. Yeah. Rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. Do the things. Get your friends to listen to us.
Yep.
Share our stuff.
Give us recommendations to watch if you guys know something that we haven't come across yet. Like, we're open to long format. Like, we probably will not. Like, they'll probably take a longer time and we may not do as many live tweets. But if there is a live series that people want us to watch, we can at least dedicate 2 or 3 episodes to it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I think I feel like that's like opening another can of worms where it's like we probably haven't dipped our toe. I'm like using all these euphemisms. Y'all can see how tired I am. But like, you know, it's a new area where we can like kind of explore and there's more content out there. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
I am too.
So as always, you can find me on Twitter at LA_NEY_SHA.
And you can find me at OhMythRandier on Twitter, and you can find the podcast at D. Oh, I'm never gonna get this.
You got it.
At DYHT_pod on Twitter.
Yeah, you did it, girl. Alrighty, guys. We're gonna go to bed now and forget about this terrible movie.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah.
We have to wash it from our brains.
Yes. Gonna go do that now. Alrighty.
Oh, wait. Hold on. We have to do our exit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Give me a second. Will we ever hate anybody else more than Light Turner? Was
what
Mia...
was that doing?
No. I got it. I mean, if you got one, you can get one.
Oh, I don't got one.
Was Mia the real Kira of this movie?
Will we shit on Vegeta next time?
Vegeta? Yes.
Oh, no, not Vegeta. No, sorry. Will we shit on Goku? Not Vegeta. This is how much this is messed up. We will never shit on Vegeta because he was amazing, but we shit on Goku next time because we made it through an entire episode not making fun of Goku because we had so much to make fun of for this movie.
Oh, damn, that's right. We did. Good on
so
us.
will we drag Goku next time? Will we go back to our happy place of dragging Goku?
Find out next time on the next episode of Did You Have To? Bye.
Bye.